spookiest month of them all. Week 4 at Raiders at the Chargers. Final score 17-24. Chargers took one out of the division here tonight, but we do have our brother Max with us straight off the flight. Max, man, I'm gonna pass this over to you, brother. Just opening thoughts and thoughts on the game as a whole.
Yeah. First off, big shout out to the fan base. Raider Nation was out in full effect. I think they filled 70% of the stadium. So big shout out to the fans. Everyone showing love regardless, win or loss. Always coming hot. We already know that. Yeah, we lost by a touchdown. It was a hard-fought game. Similar to last week in Pittsburgh, we started kind of slow. They got a lead, and then we started inching back in the game and made it competitive. So, yeah, it really comes down to the little things, and that's what we didn't execute well enough tonight. That's the hardest part about it. All the way down to the 3-yard line, we get a turnover, got to get another stop, and it's just, that's the business. It comes down to 5 or 6 plays every single week, so it sucks. Every time you go and play a divisional opponent, especially the Chargers, you want to win, but we got to bounce back. That's the beauty of this game. There's so much that goes on, but it's all in the details. It's the littlest shit that separates good teams from great ones, and that's what we're working on. And we're 1-3 at the end of the day, and we have to win next week. We're playing Monday Night Football versus the Packers. Huge game coming up, so we're fired up for it.
Before I jump into all of this, though, before we get on the topic of Farva from Super Troopers, Aiden O'Connell, which, hey, fucking killer stash he has. I'm a huge
Great
fan
stash.
of it. It looks great stash, right? I don't know if anyone's in there lathering that bad boy up for him, but it looks awesome. I don't know if he's taking a page out of Kelsey's book or what, but shit, I can get fully behind that. Pause. But another thing that I'd like to say before I jump into it, you like that? When I heard that he was getting the nod today, Max, man, it took me back to my rookie year. I can for sure say that, and also another rookie getting the nod today for the Browns, DTR. Man, it just gave me PTSD back to my rookie year, right? The transition it takes from college ball on the way over to professional ball. It's different, as as everyone knows, especially at the quarterback position. It's heightened, man. It really is, and. Sure, you guys can simulate the game and all that stuff in practice and get in there in the film room and do all that stuff, but really it comes down to getting out there in live action. So just want to pass over to you, man. I know, did you ever little bro Farva this week and just say, hey, give him a little pointers to just, hey, the team's behind you? How did you guys rally behind Aiden this week?
Yeah, like I said, I seen him, I think it was Saturday. And I just told him literally just be you, bro. In practice, he's always a scout team guy, so we have exchange periods where, they're the look team and they got to be the look for, whoever we're playing, and he's always in there. So I'm constantly, me, I'm always go above and beyond and hit the quarterback even though I'm not supposed to, and I'm always fucking with them. And he's the one quarterback that never says shit. He just takes it and keeps moving, and that's what I can respect about him. He never, bitches or complains. He's always standing in the pocket and taking it and throw. No matter what it is, he has pressure in his face. He's always going to try to make the throw. So yeah, DT, you seen that pause. But yeah, I got a ton of respect for him. So yeah, as a leader, no matter what the situation is. It could be a shitty situation, be a good situation. No matter what, I'm in a position of leadership, and these are my guys, and I gotta instill that confidence in them. Whether that's getting on their ass or encouraging them. But a guy like Aiden, you don't really have to say much. The guy shows up every single day. He carries himself like a vet. So yeah, his future is super bright, and I love that dude.
All I'm hearing is a whole lot of. He's got that dog in him. Is that what I'm feeling? Is that what I'm hearing from you? Aiden's got that dog in him?
He's a dog. It's the stash. I told him when he came as a rookie. No, facts. When I seen him, when I first came in the league, or when he first came in the building this year after he got drafted, he's in the weight room doing a workout and shit. And I just looked at him. I'm like, you got to tell me about the stash. Is there a story? What's going on here? I didn't know if it was he lost a bet or something. And he was just like, honestly, just one day I woke up and I just shaved the rest of my beard, and I just left the mustache and kind of just ran with it. And I'm like, honestly, I fuck with it. He just, he owns it. And I can respect that. You know, at the end of the day, you know, he takes heat for it, but he owns it, and I'm all for it.
Maybe he's just trying to get a few Swifties in his back pocket, you know? I mean, Travis Kelsey's got a nice little stash going. Is he trying to take something out of Travis Kelsey's book? You tell me. I
Honestly,
mean,
I think Aiden beat him to the stash, to be honest.
I think
Because,
so
you know,
too.
Travis is typically a beard kind of guy like myself, but, you know, Aiden's been rocking the stash for a minute, so, you know, you gotta give him his fucking credit when it's due.
I think you and Farva need to get a little bet going that maybe if he gets out there on a dub next game, in case Jimmy's not playing, Himmy Neutron, if he's not out there, then we got to get something going on where the team rallies. A little rally cap on the stash. What is your thoughts on that? You think we could get that thing going in the locker room?
Yeah, honestly, you know, if you know, God forbid, you know, Jimmy's not able to come back and Aiden's the guy, he comes out, gets a couple dubs, and, you know, we might just have to rally. I'll fucking go mustache if we have to. I might have a super white chin because I haven't shaved this bitch in forever, but I'll definitely rally behind that if we have to. If we can win, then I'm fucking all for it.
Amen. Amen. It's kind of like Vrabel. Shout out to Bustin' with the Boys. I hate to do that, but I'll plug him out here if we have to. Vrabel would cut it. Vrabel is willing to cut his piece off for a Super Bowl, right? So if everyone has to put a stash on for a Super Bowl, that's what we're going to do, right?
I mean, that's a good compromise. You know, it's not as extreme, but I'm definitely willing to sacrifice my look, you know, with the red beard going on, but I'll rock a fucking stash. I feel like, you know, everybody can rock a stash at one point in their life and, you know, just own it.
I love that.
So
I love
12,
that.
I got a question for you, 12. So Brogan
Yeah.
just asked about the what it took for a rookie quarterback to get ready for this game, right? Now, talk to us about what it takes for a vet and what you had to do to get ready for this week, and we're only in week 4.
Yeah, you know, every single week, like y'all know, like y'all were at my crib last week, the preparation starts immediately, you know, for the next game. So immediately after the game, I'm stretching, I'm doing my normal text, I'm doing my normal routine, getting in the cold tub. That's every single week, but this week was a little bit different. You know, for me, I'm a guy, and you know, this is my 5th year. I've missed literally, I think, 1 practice so far in my career leading up to this week, and I wasn't able to go on Thursday and Friday. So it was tough for me mentally because I'm a guy that I need to get every single rep. I need to see everything and visualize it and feel it out and have my exact rushes during the week. And I need everything right leading up to the game when it comes to preparation. So for me, having to sit out Thursday and just strictly rehab and get cardio in, you know, in the weight room while the guys were going, and Friday as well, it was hard as hell because I hate missing practice. And for me, I'm a leader by example. The guys see me every single workout, OTAs. I'm always out there with them. So it was hard as hell. I had, you know, some issue going on with my knee. It started in Buffalo, and you know, I had to get some blood drained and all type of crazy shit. It happened before the Pittsburgh game, and then it blew up again, you know, coming into this game. So yeah, mentally it was a battle, but you know, the fans were hitting me up worried and freaking out, thinking I'm not going to play. But, you know, for me, at the end of the day, if I can fucking run with my 2 feet and my leg and everything is put together, I'm going to find a way to get out there. So, yeah, it was definitely, you know, it was a one of one when it comes to preparation this week because I haven't had to deal with it. But mentally, I was locked in. I felt fresh. And today I played 63 of the 63 snaps on defense and played at a high level. And, you know, I was super excited. It was just, you know, the hardest part about it is this league is a day-to-day basis. Preparation is literally everything. Everybody's trying to get an upper hand on the next guy. So for me, having to kind of take a step back, it was, you know, I either could have complained about it and bitched and worried, or I can look at it as a positive and realize, okay, I'm always putting this mileage on my legs. I got to, you know, take a step back to take 2 steps forward. And I felt like, you know, people got to see that on Sunday.
For sure. I mean, you just said it right there. The NFL is a day-to-day like preparation basis, right? So, I mean, I know everyone ate that shit up when Kirk Cousins was showing that his heart was hurting or whatever the hell it was hurting his ribs on the Netflix show with the quarterbacks. But that's in all positions, right? I mean, even somebody that's coming on the other end hunting that motherfucker down, your body's aching too, right? You just can't cry about it and be as diva-ish as us quarterbacks might be. But, you know, I think, right, Max, you see people in the locker room daily going through these battles and just what it takes for an NFL player and even a player at your level to be able to just go out there and show the fans and give your team everything you have.
No, 100%, and that's the thing that people don't, like you said, people don't understand what goes into it physically. You know, in my position, I'm I'm a red circle guy, so I know I'm gonna get extra attention. I'm gonna get chips. I'm gonna get. There's games where I come back home and my fucking ribs are on fire, my neck is fucked up, my knees hurt, my whole body hurts. But that's what I'm willing to sacrifice, and that's what these guys are willing to sacrifice. Like we talked about, bro. Like there's I think 1,500 guys in the NFL, and there's billions of people on the planet. This shit is not normal. It's not normal human behavior to go out there and have fucking car crashes on a weekly basis. So you got to go above and beyond when it comes to preparation and getting your body ready, because this shit is it's a long season, 17 games guaranteed, and playoffs on top of that if you make it. So yeah, it's literally nonstop, and that's what I feel like the fans, they don't really get to understand or realize. But yeah, like I think I sent y'all the picture, but I have fucking 2 big ass needles put into my knees, sucked out a bunch of fucking blood. It was like 120 cc's just 2 days ago. My knee had to get drained. It was completely swollen up. But you go out there and nobody has any idea, and you got to perform. So yeah, that's what the league's all about.
This man's sitting here telling us got needles in his leg, draining all this fluid, and he still went out and put fucking 8 tackles, 2 sacks. Should have been 3. I'm not gonna let that shit go. That shit should have been 3.
No, that shit.
I mean,
that hurt, but
they can take it how they want, but that's a dog.
Well, you know what the problem was, D, when he got back there and he was like, he had a holy shit moment, and he's seen Herbie just standing back there. I think he thought it was me. And then so when he got like busy back there, I don't know if it like flashed back to me getting busy on Maxx back in the heyday or what it was, but I mean to say that I didn't prep you for this moment is fucking tough to agree on,
I know it's definitely tough. That's probably the first thing that goes through my mind on the field is bullying your shit back in the day. I just have flashbacks, just what it's all about.
Well, it's kind of funny because Herbie looked like he got his fingers jammed up in there today when he threw that pick. And hey, does this take you back to Coach Bola? Shout out to Bola. The Bola family runs deep over Michigan State. But what do you say? I remember I have, like I said, PTSD. If you threw a pick in practice or whatever, I remember him yelling to the D line, "You turn and you find that quarterback and you clean him."
Yes.
You know what I mean? You clean his block. So as soon as I seen it, bro, it was nothing new. I knew this shit was happening. So before I even saw the replay, it was you that hit him. In my head, I'm like, I guarantee, I'm screaming at you. I go, I guarantee it's Maxx who fucking laid him out. I guarantee it. But him getting his finger stuck in there, man, I think you and I might have had a few instances of our fingers getting stuck in some helmets back in the day. Don't you think?
Okay, you were worried me for a second. Yeah. Yes. But, yeah, we could talk about that. It was a spring practice. We don't have to go into too much detail, but basically it was a dog of a day. We're fucking dying. It's 3 weeks into spring ball. And yeah, you decided to fucking throw a slant and follow through with the haymaker to one of my D tackles. So I ran up behind you, grabbed your little scrawny ass at the time. And, you turned around, decided to try to fucking yank my helmet off. So then I grabbed your fucking helmet. We're literally just dislocating each other's necks on the field. And then Creighton fucking blows the whistle, and we had to do 15 minutes straight. It was 3 periods straight of up downs. And it was fucking torture. And me and Brogan just look at each other like, what the fuck? But that day in general was like, honestly, one of the most fun practices ever because everybody was just on tilt and ready to fight each other. We had gone against each other too much. And I remember I fought Ian. Then Breck, fucking Coach Pete told Breck to hit me in the nuts when I came, if I came close to the quarterback. And I chased after Breck, trying to fight Breck. I got in like 4 fights or something in one day. And you were the fucking cherry on top. We go into meetings the next day, and Bulla's like, he just has a bunch of dash marks under every guy's name that got in the fight. And I had like 5 or 6 or something. And he just looks at me, he's like, I can't defend this. I can't defend. I'm like, that's on me, coach. So, yeah, that's the beauty of the game. At the end of the day, you got to find the fucking quarterback on the interception. Back to the beginning. Find the fucking quarterback. He's the first guy. He knows where he threw that pick, so he's got to be the first guy you block. And, I had to hunt that man.
100%, man. You have to minimize the mistakes, especially in a division game or in the conference game like that. on the road, like you hit on. But I'm going to spin it in. Let's talk a little bit more about you and your game here today. I mean, you had a hell of a fucking game, bro. I hope everybody could tune in and just see your motor, your heart, the game that you love, man. That's the best part, I think, about watching you is just seeing, like, the love you truly have for the game. I know I love it. We live vicariously through it because that is so contagious. I mean, shout out to my boy Jarvis when we were there. You know, that shit's contagious. That shit contagious, bro. This shit contagious, bro. But no, man, you had a sack there in the second quarter in the red zone. I'm sure you remember it pretty vividly. But I don't know if you knew this part, man. That was the 68th TFL since 2019 that you had, the second most in the NFL from that time. What does that mean to you, man? Because when you came in, everyone knows how crafty you are off the edge, how many moves you have in your tool belt. But people don't respect you, I feel like, all the time in the run game. Can you just talk to people about what that little stat, that accolade that I threw out there means to you? And you just in that run game and developing as a player, man.
Bro, for me personally, like that's something, like ever since I got in the league, everyone always told me, like, they always try to put like a fucking ceiling on me. Like, Maxx, you're a situational rusher. Then I come in, I'm getting a lot of TFLs, getting a lot of sacks, and they're like, okay, well, there's always something, you know what I mean? Like somebody said, like one of the best quotes is, shit, if I fucking walked on water, people would say it's because I can't swim. Like, that's the shit I'm talking about. Like, everyone always has something, I feel like, to knock me. And I feel like this season, I feel like nobody's been giving me the credit, even though I've been getting a ton of pressures and doing a lot of things, getting even more attention. But at the end of the day, if you play the game the right way, you fucking take it one play at a time, like, that shit always fucking stands out. And, like, sacks come in bunches, TFLs come in bunches. And for me, like, I want to be the best in the league. I want to be the most complete player on a day-to-day and a play-to-play basis. And for me, like today, I played 63 out of 63 snaps. And the night before, like, I was worried about if my knee was going to be 100%. But that's what it takes. You know, for me, I'm going to do anything in my power to go out there and be the fucking best in the league at what I do. And whether that's, you know, it's going to take 5 years for everyone to give me that credit, or they don't want to, you know, they don't want to give me the credit. Like, it doesn't matter, because I know at the end of the day, the film doesn't lie. And like you said, like last year, I led the league in TFLs, and they said I wasn't a run guy. The year before that, you know, they said, oh, well, his pass rush, he could only speed rush. And then I led the league with 100+ pressures. Like, there's always something. And, like, this year is another challenge. Like, we're 1-3 again. We're going through it, but it doesn't matter. For me, if I'm at my best, I know I can affect the game and help us win the game. And that's what I'm literally trying to do every single week. And I put in the work to fucking put that shit on display. So, yeah, I take that super personal, bro. I want to be the best in the run, pass, and in every category I could possibly be.
And another thing, Maxx, if you want to hit on, let's get on to the dog of the day. Ooh.
Dog of the day. Dog of the day, this is easy for me. I rocked with my boy, my brother, my blood, Josh Jacobs, my homie. He fucking went nuts. 81 receiving yards on 8 catches. He also had, I think, 57 yards rushing. Even though the rushing yards weren't there, he made the most of his opportunities. The dude is making people miss, stiff-arming people, doing it all. So a guy like that, 139 total yards on the game. You know, you got a rookie quarterback in there. He was looking for, you know, that fucking safety blanket. And Josh was definitely that today, and he made people miss consistently. So dog of the day, you know, it's hard, you know, to not give Josh the dog of the day damn near every week, because Josh is just one of those guys. He's a pit bull in human form. You know, he's constantly battling injury, constantly battling dings and all that type of shit, but he's always showing up on Sundays and, you know, putting his best shit on film. So Josh Jacobs, you know, that's my fucking boy. That's my day one. 2019 draft class, big time today. That's the third big shout out to them.
Another grinder.
Another fucking Gruden grinder, a day one. You know, there's not many left of us, you know, on the Raider organization from the Gruden era in that draft class. But me and Josh, you know, we've been holding it down. So big shout out to my boy Josh, dog of the day. Easy.
Yeah, Himmy Jacobs, he is just reinserting, like, the value for running backs, in my opinion. Obviously, it's been a tough slate for the injuries for the running backs after the big, like, holdout type conversation they were having. But Himmy Jacobs, one of one. He's just really just bringing that value to the running backs and just proving how helpful it is for a safety blanket, like you hit on for a rookie quarterback and even just a quarterback in general. So dog of the day, definitely Josh Jacobs. That dude is a fucking pit,
He is a pit.
100%.
End of discussion.
Let's take on to another big moment in the game. It was fourth down. I believe it was 4th and 2. Down 7. Can you just elaborate kind of what was going on, what you guys saw in that huge stop to get the ball back? Because, I mean, I feel like Patrick Graham-led defense. You guys get a lot of shit. I mean, honestly, you guys get a lot of shit over there, and people want to talk and all that shit. But all of a sudden, it's crunch time, it's money down, it's 4th and 2, and you guys make a play. Can you just talk us through that play and kind of what you guys saw?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Pat Graham because this exact play is exactly what he tells me not to do. And it's the second time versus the Chargers where I've gone over the top and stopped the QB sneak. And, he always tells me in practice, you got to get underneath them. And that's how we stop it. I'm like, Coach, let everybody else chop the fuckers down and let me go over the top. That shit works because I can time it. And, so this is like, I think it's the third time in my career where I've gone over the top in a QB sneak and stuffed the runner. So, yeah, in that moment, like, we knew we needed to get a stop. But I got to give my shout out to Bilal Nichols. It was 3rd and 10 before that. Herbert fucking makes a crazy, elaborate scramble, spins out of a sack. He's fucking running for a first down. Bilal comes out of the stack, dives, grabs his ankle, and stops him a yard short to put us in that position. So you got to give him the big credit on that because without him, we wouldn't even have been in that position. So, yeah, big shout out to my guy Bilal. But, yeah, no situations. Pat, I love you and I always give him shit about this, but in practice, I always even fuck around. I'm like, I'm going over the top, Pat. And so this is the second time versus the Chargers back-to-back years where I went over the top and got that 4th down, QB sneak stop. So, yeah, that shit, everyone's got their own fucking theory on how to stop the QB sneak. For me, I feel like I just got to go fucking flying and get a piece of the quarterback.
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that? Because I know we've talked about it numerous times, but whatever the hell that is, submarine, QB sneak, shout out to the Eagles because I think they're the ones that started this entire movement. But from a defense standpoint, how fucking annoying is it? Is it like you're playing Army and Navy over there and they're just cutting your shins out and they're going to get that 1 yard and people being able to shove them? Do you like that rule? Do you think it's cool? Is that something that they should change down the road? I'm just curious. Quarterback, I love it. Push my fucking ass as far as you can.
Anytime a play becomes super hard to stop, everyone immediately goes, they should fucking ban it. But the Eagles have fucking found a way to master the QB sneak. So you got to give them the credit for that shit. It's made it harder now because, like you said, it's fucking Army, Navy. They're on all fours basically diving at your knees. And Jalen Hurts is a smaller quarterback with fucking big, strong legs, and he can run the ball. So that's something that people don't take into account because they're like, why the fuck doesn't everybody do it? But everybody's not Jalen Hurts. He's a running back, a running back build playing quarterback. So they've just found how to master it, and they motion in a tight end, and he pushes it. So it's like it makes it even harder to stop. So, yeah, it's not a fucking easy play to stop, but, you got to give credit to Philly because they fucking do it at a high level. There's a lot of teams that suck at quarterback sneaking. So, they just found a way to master it, and, you got to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, I feel like those motherfuckers over in Philly, they'll do it on 3rd and 2, even 3rd and 3. Like, they're that confident they're going to get that many yards, right? And then you get them in a 4th and 1 situation. It's tough because you're down there in 4-down territory because they're going to go for that 1 to 2 yards and just push them all the way through, right? And Jalen Hurts over here squatting 700 pounds. So a little abnormal for the quarterback.
Slightly.
I was literally just going to say that. Another huge point in the game. A little touchy. No pun intended, but what was said though between you and Herbert after the late hit from Tillery that I think you guys were going to get off the field on? I saw the cameras went to you too. It looked like you guys were chopping it up. Can you give us a little insight to what kind of conversation you two were having out there?
Yeah, every time I play Herbert, we have a ton of conversation on the field. We got a mutual respect for each other. We went to the Pro Bowl together multiple times. So we're always chopping it up and talking, and it's just a mutual respect because I tell him, literally from the start, like first couple rushes, I'm gonna be right next to him. Like I let him know every time, be like, I'm fucking here. I'm gonna be here all fucking night. And in that situation, Jerry made a bad play. We talked about after the game. He admitted his mistake. You just can't do that shit. You know, it hurts the team. And if I were to do it, I would have to fucking say the same thing. You know what I mean? It's shit happens, but he knows he made a mistake in a big moment. And for me, after it happened, I went up to Herbert just making sure his brain was still intact because he got laid the fuck out. But yeah, he said he was good and it was what it was. You know, their whole fucking sideline was on our ass immediately.
A mob.
And yeah, a mob. And, you know, as much as I dislike the Chargers, I respect that shit because, you know, anytime, especially the quarterback, like that's your guy. You got to protect him and their whole fucking team and coaches and everybody was in there. So, yeah, you know, we were definitely outnumbered, but it was what it was. You know, it's a tough play. You just, like I said, like me and Jerry talked about it, but you can't do shit like that in big games.
For sure. No, I think the reaction was warranted there in SoFi. And kind of just speaking of SoFi, can you just talk about kind of just the Chargers in general and what they were doing against you and what you saw out there? Or maybe do they always scheme a certain way whenever you tend to play the Chargers?
Yeah, you know, every time we play them, we know they like to air the shit out. You know, they love throwing the ball, you know, going spread formations and toss the ball to Keenan. And, you know, they got a ton of fucking weapons. Obviously, Eckler was out. We knew that, so the receiving out the backfield wasn't going to be the same, and it wasn't today. But they were trying to feed Keenan. I think he only had 3 catches. But yeah, every time you play a team like that, like you got to be at your best when it comes to your pass rush. You got to be coordinated because you're not only going to be rushing and getting after the quarterback, but at the same time, that fucker can run. He's going to run to the B gap. He's going to run out the back. He does a lot of shit with the ball, and he always is trying to make the play. He's never trying to just go down and take the sack. Like he's throwing from the fucking ground if he has to. So, you know, I respect that about his game. You know, him and Josh Allen are very similar in that way. Like they're never just going to go down and whatever, fucking surrender the down. And teams like that, like that's, you know, when you're in practice, you got to work on finishing. Like even if, you know, we got the scout team quarterback, they're saying stay off the quarterback. Like I'm gonna still knock the fucking ball out of his hand just to get that mental rep. And, you know, I feel like it pays off when it comes to the game because when you got a guy like Herbert who's always trying to make plays, you got to fucking hunt him and you got to finish, you know, every single rep.
I saw you crawling on the ground. I think you made a tackle on the running back, and I think he was laying down on his stomach, and you were up there just after the play, just trying to grab that ball, just fucking with them, letting them know you're there, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we saw that a little bit in the Netflix series, the quarterback, you with Mahomes, just tapping them in the chest, letting them know you're there, right? I mean, that's part of it.
100%. Yeah, that's a part of it. You know, no matter what, even if he's down, like I'm gonna always punch the ball out of the running back's hand just to let him know. Be like, yeah, I'm coming for that ball. And I did the same shit with Herbert. Like when I got the first strip sack, I was like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm coming. And that's just, you know, it is what it is. But you got to let them know. You know, for me, there's a game inside the game, and I'm always trying to, you know, win that mental edge.
All right, Wap, I got a question for you.
Talk to me, brother.
All right, we're in the fourth quarter, right? You guys are down 14. You came in with your big sack. All right.
Yeah.
Now, what the people don't understand is how you got that sack.
You can't just say that.
All right.
I was looking at bro.
I got it with your big sack.
With your big sack. I
was thinking about that the whole time.
Please, Max, talk to us about your big sack.
That's why I didn't
so
look
your
up.
shaft is long. Let's explain the diameter on your pole.
How do you fit it in your jock strap?
All right, fourth quarter. All right, down 10. You guys
Yeah.
needed a big play. You came through with the sack, okay, through the clutch. People don't understand a pivotal piece as to how you got that sack, right?
Yeah.
And that's from your D tackle. You guys did a TE, a nice little game. But he had the guard's shoulders completely turned to the sideline. Talk about how pivotal that is to really lean on. Like, he's not going to get that in the stat sheet. But how that made it possible for you to get that big play.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought this up because Adam Butler, big shout out to you, bro. He's a fucking awesome fucking human being in general. But this dude is like, when you talk about IQ, this dude is top notch. Ever since I've been in the league, I haven't had a guy like this level of, all right, the slide's going this way, boom, boom, boom. Like, he's the best communicator on the field. He won a Super Bowl with New England. The guy is just fucking on it all the time. And so this is early in the game. We're talking about it. He's like, the me game's going to work. Me game, text, TE, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But all the same, but he was like, bro, I'm telling you, he's like, I'm going to get a 3 tech. I'm going to hit that bitch. He's like, just fucking take it upfield. You're going to be straight. And I told him, I'm like, don't even worry about the tackle because he's already panicking, running out, trying to block me. So there's going to be space in there. So fast forward, it's the fourth quarter, big down in the game, big moment. Sorry about the burp. But this was not even planned. I went in, it was literally right before the play. I seen the chip coming over. The tight end fucking comes over, and I looked at him, I go, hit that bitch. And so he's like, bet. So it happened right before the snap. So he widens out, boom, hits it. I fucking sell it upfield, and I had a fucking clean lane, and I just took off. And, you know, you got to give it credit to everybody, and that's the beautiful thing about football. The coverage held up. They made him hold the ball. Adam fucking communicated it 2 quarters before, and the shit just came together like that. And that's, you know, that's the shit people don't see. So yeah, he doesn't get that in the stat sheet, but Adam is the number one. He's like fucking Rondo. He's going to go out there. He might score 4 points, but he's going to have 20 fucking assists. And that's what, you know, you got to have guys like that on the team, you know, vets who are unselfish and just care about winning. So yeah, Adam was, you know, he was the one that set that up for me. So it was fucking beautiful.
But no, man, there's nothing worse from a quarterback perspective. You're going through your progressions. You hit your first read, your second read. You're going to your third for possibly your back or a tight end out on a check down. And then, you know, there's nothing worse than having that clock dwindling down, and then here you come down the middle screaming like a fucking maniac, come to take his head off, you know?
Yeah, 100%, bro. Those are the opportunities you fucking love. You know, being on the left side majority of the time, you don't have a ton of clean ass, like they're not seeing you type sacks. Like majority of the time they're going to see you coming. You got to be athletic, make a play. But yeah, on that one, I was coming hot and he was looking off and I was just like, hold the ball. And we made a play. So yeah, it was a big moment in the game.
Absolutely. So let's fast forward here. 24-hour rule, right? We're going to let you bask in it tonight, but then tomorrow we're right back onto the Packers, right? We're moving forward. Monday Night Football. Just tell me, man, what does Monday Night Football mean to you growing up? I know you're a gym rat. Just what does Monday Night Football mean to you?
Yeah, Monday Night Football just means everybody's fucking watching. You know, at the end of the day, you got one football game on. Everybody in the world is going to be watching that shit. And I love that. You know, for me, I love the pressure. I love being in the spotlight, playing in the biggest game. So, you know, I'm fired up. I cannot wait. Obviously, after a tough loss, it makes it even your anticipation. You're like, I want to get back out on the field. So, obviously, we got to watch the film together tomorrow. But after that, we're going to fucking lock in, get ready for the Packers. And like you said, Monday Night Football, we got to win. You know, the Packers are coming off a tough loss as well to the Lions. And we know it's not going to be an easy game. And on top of it, Rich Bisaccia is over there in Green Bay. Joe Barry, big shout out to Rich. Joe Barry, the D coordinator. He's married to Coach Marinelli's daughter. So their whole, like, I got a ton of connections over there in Green Bay. Got a ton of respect for them. You know, Matt LaFleur, all those guys, they were the Pro Bowl coaches 2 years ago. So I got to meet all those guys. They're fucking, you know, phenomenal coaches and good people. So I know they're going to be prepared. And, you know, we're definitely looking forward to getting our first home win at Allegiant. So we're fired up.
Rich Bisaccia, that might be Will Compton's favorite coach of all time, right?
He's my favorite coach of all time. Marinelli's number one, but Bisaccia he's 1B for sure.
For sure. No, that guy's a guru on special teams and even probably a better person, just from what I've heard and hearing it from you and other past players. So, did you get a chance to watch Thursday Night Football between the Lions and the Packers at all?
Yes. You know, every week we have our D-line dinners. First week we were at the Cribbo. But besides that, you know, we change it up every single week. Sometimes we go to a steakhouse. Sometimes we go to another teammate's house. Last week we're at Jerry's. Big shout out to Jerry's, you know, whole family and the whole crew. They fucking dialed it up. Angie and the whole crew from the Raiders, they came and cooked it up at the crib, and we watched the game. So, shit like that is, you know, super important. We feel like, you know, that's why we're getting better and better and gelling together because we spent a lot of time off the field together as well. So, yeah, we were dialed in. We watched the whole game. And, you know, fucking Green Bay, you know, they struggled early on, but they ended up coming back and making it a game, you know, late. So, you know, they're a team that's resilient. They got a lot of young guys. But, yeah, they're well coached. And, you know, anytime you got a lot of, you know, talented young players and great coaches, you got a great challenge coming. So we know it's going to be a dogfight.
So, Max, question for you. I know we're talking here of everyone, being remote, DT, Cleveland area, Brogan, Michigan, yourself, Vegas, myself, Pittsburgh. Is there a venue or is there a team, a conference that in your 4 to 5 years that you haven't played at yet that you're like looking forward to?
I would have to say Detroit. I haven't played in Detroit. I played in a lot of different places, but I have not played in Detroit. Obviously, fucking Eastern Michigan, 25 minutes down the road. Yeah. Big shout out to Eastern. You see it in the back, DT. Big shout out. Go Eagles. Go. Yeah, you got the East. Yeah, I got.
Brogan, show me that.
Come on. Yeah, show me your E, Brogan. Fucking fraud.
I think it's anyway. In here.
Yeah.
You got it?
They're right here. Back in
until I die, though. You know it.
Exactly. But yeah, I would have to say Ford Field. I practiced there when we were at Eastern. I feel like we all fucking were there when we practiced there way back. But I have not played in an actual game there. And obviously, there's going to be the whole fucking crew there. We're going to have everybody out, the whole fam. Fucking Coach Creighton's probably going to bring the whole fucking Eastern athletic department. It's going to be fucking going down. Fucking our boy Scott Weatherby's going to be in there, the 98 jersey.
Let's go. Shout out to
3XL
Weatherby.
size. Big shout out to Scott Weatherby. It's going to be quite the time. So yeah, that's got to be one that I've been like, yeah, I need to play in Detroit. All right, this is the rush segment of the show. This is where we break down our 3 top rushers that we all collectively come up with during the week around the league. So this week, we're going to start with number 3, Andrew Van Ginkel. I'm going to give a little story behind this guy. This dude was at Exos with me. He doesn't say much. I believe he was undrafted. Y'all got to look that up. He might have been a late-round pick or undrafted, but dude is a fucking great special teams player. He comes in on situational downs as a rusher, plays linebacker. Dude constantly is making plays, so I got to give him his flowers because he gets, slept on a little bit. But this week, Jalen Phillips was down. Andrew Van Ginkel stepped up. He was starting this week. He ended up with 2 sacks, 3 TFLs, and a tough loss. But he's one of those guys that every time he goes out on the field, he's making plays. And I feel like he's like the Brody Hoying when we were in college. No matter what he looks like, he's not, not the most intimidating looking dude, but he's going to go out there and make plays. He reminds me of Gardeck from the Cardinals. Little fucking white dude, special teamer, always goes out there, gets sacks, makes plays. And so he had one of those games. He had 5 tackles, 3 TFLs, and 2 sacks on Josh Allen. So you gotta give him his props on that.
I did my draft process with Gardeck. Oh, I'm sorry, I ruined this problem. I did my draft process with Gardeck. Dude's a fucking worker, dude. Out in Arizona over at Fisher. Yes. He is a worker grinder. Went and played at Sioux Falls. For everybody that doesn't know, little ass school. Gruden's grinder, baby.
He's a Gruden's grinder, no question.
Yeah, he's just going to get better and better. But, yeah, just to that point, man, Dennis Gardeck is a fucking animal and someone to be watching for sure.
Yeah.
151st pick.
151st pick, yep. Ginkel was in my fucking draft. And he was injured at Exos, but that dude, he was quiet, fucking worked his ass off, and he's still in Miami balling out. So big shout out to him. Number 2, gotta go with my guy, Josh Allen. We came in together as well, 2019. Big shout out, best draft class with rushers, no question, in a long time. But yeah, you got to give your respect to Josh Allen. He had his second 3-sack game of the year, which is nuts. He had 3 sacks today, forced fumble. He's gotten better and better every single year. He was, I think, the 7th overall pick to the Jags in my class. And you just see that guy getting better and better every single year. Me and him, we're good buddies. He FaceTimed me, I think, last year before the Chiefs game, asking me, hey, they're about to play the Chiefs in the playoffs. And him and Arden were on the Jags FaceTiming me, asking me, yo, what do you see from Wiley? What do you see from Orlando? Blah, 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 blah. And just seeing him come into his own, every single year he gets better and just keeps elevating. And him having another 3-sack game, you got to give his props. He's got all type of tools. He can cross-chop. He can speed to power, long arm. He's got a lot in his tool bag. He's just gotten better and better. So big shout out to Josh Allen. Huge day. 3 sacks. He's number 2 on the day. But unfortunately, we got to give a number 1 to the boy, Khalil Mack. Major respect to him. He had 6 sacks today, which is ridiculous. Obviously playing against me and our team. And he had fucking a career day. Every time, he plays the Raiders, it seems like he has, something to prove, which I, totally respect. And he's one of those guys, I got mutual respect for him. We always chop it up, either pregame, postgame. And he's one of the, he's a guy that's, on his way to a Hall of Fame career. So him having 6 sacks after not having a sack in the first 3 weeks is insane. And yeah, he's one of those guys. When you talk about, toolbox, the dude could long arm anybody off their feet. He's got a ton in his bag, and he's been consistent as a top 5, top 10 guy for the last damn near 10 years. So another Mac dude. Big shout out to Eastern. Big shout out to Buffalo. Shout out to the Maxion boys. Seeing him kill it, he's definitely, he set the blueprint, for guys like myself and other guys in the Mac. So yeah, big shout out to Khalil, even though it was against my team. He fucking went federal today. So big shout out to
Federal.
him.
That boy went federal today. Yes, he did.
All right, y'all. This is another fucking episode, number 2. We just locked in, talked about all the behind the scenes from this week's, obviously, tough loss, but this is what we're going to be doing every single week, getting you guys tied into the behind the scenes, the in-depth, the fan questions, the dogs of the days, the rush at the end. This is what we're going to do on a weekly basis. So we just want to say we appreciate you, Raider Nation, always coming in full effect. Be on the lookout, subscribe. We're going to be dialed in all season long. We appreciate you guys. We love you. Brogan, my co-host, fucking appreciate you. Dustin Creel, the behind the scenes. Darian as well, fucking holding it down. We appreciate you guys always, man. This is The Rush. Let's get it.